Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video. Welcome to the center of Moscow. I'm back in Russia after a brief holiday, and I thought I'd go for a bit of a walk around a park and a garden right behind me. It's called the Hermitage Garden. Now, it's not the famous museum in St. Petersburg. It's right here in the center of Moscow. Let's go check it out together. Part of the reason I wanted to come here today is they've got some events going on, and normally when you see the security at the entrance, they've always got something more than usual. So if you come at any other day of the week, you'd just be able to walk right in the garden and have a wander around. Very beautiful part of Moscow right here in the center. Beautiful day today as well. It's nice and cool. You can see some buildings off in the distance, blue skies, and some very nice old buildings right in the center of Moscow. Lots of people coming and going as well. I'm not exactly sure what time this event started today, but we're here now to check it out together. This particular garden isn't very big, but it's got lots of nice features. It's nice to walk around. There's a lady here who's taking photos. So nice. And a lot of people come here because they have different events on, festivals. They've got different concerts, and just all around just nice events in these gardens. There's actually even a fairly extensive poster here about all the events that are happening, I believe, today and tomorrow. I'm not too sure. I know for certain today something's going on, and that's part of the reason I've come here. This is kind of interesting. All the do's and don'ts. And it really says take some photos, and there's free Wi-Fi and all the things you shouldn't do. Don't pick the flowers, because of course, being a garden, there's a lot of beautiful flowers and plants. So let's have a walk around and see what we can find here in the famous Hermitage Garden in the center of Moscow. To the best of my understanding, the event going on today here is a Latin America and Caribbean Culture Festival. So I got told about this by a subscriber, and then I had to come here today and check it out. So we'll have a walk around, see if we can find some Caribbean culture here in Moscow. I wonder what they're going to actually have. I'm just looking ahead of me here. So let's go and have a look a bit closer. I can hear the music playing, so I must be getting a little bit closer. You can actually see a church off in the distance with that very famous onion-domed roof. And especially when you're here in the center of Moscow, there's a lot of them. Now this park, a lot of people just come here just to sit on the grass and hang out. There's a few small cafes, and especially in summertime now, I mean, there's no excuse not to come and have a walk in the center of Moscow and come to one of the hundreds of parks. There are so many. They've got some posters here with all of the Central American countries represented, and a picture or poster that represents them. That's kind of fun. A little bit of South America as well. So yeah, and a little bit of music playing in the background. Now, I've not been to too many of these countries. I've been to Mexico before. I've been to Honduras. All of that travel was on cruise ships. Lots of people just checking out the posters like I am. So it looks like maybe they're going to have some singers and dancers on stage. Now I've come here right about lunchtime, so I think things should start to happen or get a little bit more happening. This is fun. They've got some walls set up where you can take a photo against the background. Very un-Moscow-like, but it's really fun. there's definitely plenty of people coming to this, and I'm always not the best at knowing about events in Moscow. I ended up finding out about them a week later, or at least a few days later, and luckily today I got told ahead of time to come. Oh, look at the contrast of the buildings here, some of the older buildings and then the modern ones in the background, and lots of people just sitting enjoying this beautiful sunny weather. Now today it's a little bit cooler than it has been the whole rest of the week, and I think people are happy that it's just come down the temperature just a little bit and it's a little bit more enjoyable to walk around. I've been to this park quite a few different times, and the last time I was here was actually a festival of Thailand. So it's interesting, the two different times I'm coming here, it's a multicultural festival that they're holding, which is definitely interesting, and the different cultures that are represented in Russia. I mean, pretty much every country has an embassy or a consulate here. There is actually a very big concert hall and theatre here as well. I imagine on different days they hold different events that you can attend, and I think where we want to go is off in the distance here and have a look at some of the different stands they've got set up. Definitely very colourful walking around this garden. Now I know it's not big like Gorky Park, however, these are sort of places where you just come, walk around slowly and just enjoy the place and don't rush to arrive and leave. How do I know that I've come to a Latin American festival? The guy here with his hat and just relaxing. I'm fairly sure he might not be from Mexico, but
no, I'm from Russia.
We're from Russia. Nice. Just enjoying the beautiful weather on these deck chairs. Hello. Ooh, second person.
I'm also from Russia.
Oh, nice. And you've come to enjoy the day just like me.
Yes.
Amazing.
Me too.
And just have a look at how beautiful this view is, and the garden and the trees. I must have come in the wrong entrance. Let's have a look. Everybody's over here on this side of the park. Got a nice cafe right here as well, where you can sit and relax. There's actually a second concert stage right there. So I wonder what sort of music I'm going to be playing. And there's a lot of people here. Wow, so beautiful. So I think I actually walked in the wrong direction towards the festival, and now I found the right way to walk through and have a look at this Cadillac here. This is a huge car, and they got this background here which I wonder if it's meant to represent Cuba or Puerto Rico maybe. I wonder. And of course everybody wants a photograph with this car. This must be very awkward to park somewhere, and of course in summertime beautiful weather, but come winter time you're not going to have the roof down. So now I think I found the right way to walk around. There was actually even a poster that I missed that showed the walking route around the garden, and they've actually got different food stands, I think representing different countries. This one's got mango drinks, which is really nice. And then I wonder, it's got Brazilian coffee. So it's got Brazilian coffee, but it's got Mexican drinks right there. Jumex is very famous from Mexico. But you can actually buy this almost everywhere in Russia. Perhaps they're trying to create a bit of a theme around the different stands, which I understand. I'm not all that clued in with the different food. Oh, this gentleman's even speaking Spanish, so maybe speaking Mexican. Oh, they got fajitas right here. Nice and simple. This is the fun thing with coming to these types of events, because they want to showcase all the food from different regions. I wonder if this is really just a shawarma in disguise. Perhaps not. It's still very fun. Got lots of people dressed up as well. Lots of tables. Everyone can have something to eat. Relax in the shade over there. Yeah, nice. The Peruvian flag right there. They've got the Peruvian flag, and then they've got Coca-Cola from Afghanistan, of all places. Or maybe it's not. I think it is. But that's fun. I wonder if they're doing Peruvian coffee on their machine just there. Casa Agave. So the agave plant, if you're not sure, is what they use to make tequila with or from. And it looks like they've got some food. It's a little bit of a crowd to get in there. I think maybe it's fajitas again or some kind of different food. It's interesting because a lot of the people that are from Latin America that are here in Russia are maybe going to struggle with the Russian language if they don't speak Russian entirely. Guacamole. That's fairly cool. They've got all the different countries represented. And it doesn't take a whole lot for Russians to come to these kind of events and then want food or something to drink. So it's just a matter of putting these stalls and everybody will come. Cafe Paramia. More coffee. Check that out. Hello. Hola. Oh, is that the Colombian flag? I'm never the best at knowing these different flags. More drinks. Of course, it's a warm day, so everybody wants cold drinks. I think that seems to be the normal thing. And just lots of people hanging around in the garden, sitting on the chairs, and just enjoying the place. Very beautiful. Of course, the video was about coming to the garden and having a walk around the Hermitage garden where we are here. And I think it's just nicer to come on a day like today when they've got events going on and there's lots of people here. I mean, I would say thousands of people come out to these events. Of course, you've got to remember Moscow has a population between 15 and 17 million people. So if they hold an event in the center of Moscow like this, a lot of people are going to show up, especially on a beautiful day like today. Everywhere that I walk around, they've got these different photo spots, and you can get something in your hand or a hat or the maracas and take photos. And it's just so fun because it's just so not Russia for a couple of minutes when you're standing here. And of course, fruit and vegetable stands are all over Russia, but on a day like today, get some maracas and get a nice photograph. Lots of people are sitting nice and patiently here, so I wonder if one of the bands are going to come up on stage and do something. I really am just walking around and making the video just as you're watching it. I don't tend to scope out too much ahead of time. I think maybe quite a few of the dignitaries here are from different consulates of Central America and maybe the Caribbean. There is literally every country represented in Moscow somewhere.
Hey, American.
Hello. So perhaps they're doing a welcome speech or some kind of a start of the event. I'm not too sure. However, it's nice just to walk around and take in the crowd. Lots of people in jackets and ties, which is a little bit un-Moscow-like on the weekend. TV media here as well. So maybe somebody famous is over there. I wonder. There's definitely a lot of interest around all these different gentlemen here in suits. Perhaps they're the different consulate or embassy representatives of the different countries here in Russia. And there's a lot of photographers taking photos of them as well. So perhaps some of the different countries are meeting for the first time. Some nice inter-country relations in Russia. Lots of dignitaries sitting down as well. Very interesting who might be who. So if anybody in Russia recognizes somebody, let me know in the comments, because perhaps somebody is from somewhere. Wow. So they have a bit of a concert starting now, and the crowds have definitely picked up a little bit. And of course the music generally gets a little bit too loud for filming, so I'll do my best to show what it is and what's going on. I'm fairly sure it's the opening ceremony of this event, from the best that I can tell. And there is lots of dignitaries from different places in Central America and the Caribbean. Sorry. And it's pretty neat. We've got a big TV running as well, so everyone can see it. It's really interesting though how many people are here dressed up and in suits and ties, and I'd imagine because they're representing the different countries here in Moscow. Yeah, lots to see. So they're actually doing some speeches up on stage, and these are different embassy and consulate officials. I think perhaps even the official representative of the different countries in Central America. And it's really interesting, they're actually doing all the speeches in Russian. Lots of people checking this out. And actually they're also doing it, part of it now in Spanish as well, which is really nice. There's a big screen. So yeah, interesting. So the only thing when they have the concert stages is they're going to probably have some very loud music, and it's much harder to make videos when it's like that. So I'll do my best to walk around before all the music cranks up a little bit, and we'll enjoy the rest of the park and this festival. I know lots of people have been asking me to come to different parks in Moscow and make videos about these kind of places. Now, of course, there's a little bit more people here because of this festival today. But if you were to come on most days of the week, it would be probably not quite as busy. But especially in summertime now, there'd be plenty of people here. They've got some more stands set up as well. So we'll have a look around. The famous lemurs are right there. And let's have a look at what they have. Okay, so it's a little bit hard to get to the front of the stands with the amount of people. And I think this is very normal when you come to these events, purely because of the amount of people that attend them. They have cacao right here. My wife is always talking about this stuff and wanting to put it into different drinks and coffee. Wow. I need to come at like 8 in the morning when there's nobody here, so it's a little bit easier to walk around, but it's just a little bit busy. It's still nice though, and at least to come and look at whatever different things that they're representing. I would imagine that they have to do things that represent the different regions, I think, with the best way to look at it. And always so many ladies. It doesn't take much for ladies in Moscow to want to spend money and to come shopping. They hold these sorts of events, and then there's just crowds of people like we haven't seen shops before. They also have some different masterclasses, and usually these are always for the kids to come and learn some different cultural events. And I think they're making piñatas. It looks like that. The ones in the background there made out of paper mache. The kids get to learn something new, and the parents. So that's really fun. They do actually have a few different statues in this park, and this one is actually a French poet and writer, and it was gifted to the Moscow government or administration by the administration of Paris, France. And they actually have a plaque from back in 2000 when that happened. Victor Hugo. So perhaps he was famous in his field. Now there is actually an Italian one as well somewhere. Perhaps I can find that. More than likely I won't, but it's so interesting to see these different busts in Russian parks that are representing people from other countries. Might be a little bit hard to see in here because we're in a tent, but they've got some different national costumes from different parts of Central and South America and perhaps the Caribbean. But so far I haven't seen anything very Caribbean as I've been walking around. And they've got some plaques talking about the different types of dresses and where they represent. And of course, ladies love to come and look at these things and look at the different national costumes, especially with Russia being so multicultural as well, and all the different areas of Russia that are represented. This is super cool. I wonder on camera and through the microphone if you can pick up how loud the music is, because I think it's also very famous when they do events. They always put the volume up so that everybody in the whole park can hear it at the same time. So it's very nice though. They've got music from different regions of Central America represented. And there's a wind chime here. And of course, the kids climbing all over it, but no problems at all. They're also doing face painting. And not just the kids getting their face painted, some of the mums as well. This is really cool. So all the kids are waiting in line and all the mums are getting their face painted. Nice. There's another line on this side. I think there's more face painting. Very nice. I think this is all provided as part of the event. The kids get to enjoy the afternoon and feel a little bit included in some of the activities. I just want to say a big hello to a few different subscribers that have come up to me and asked for photos. And it's so nice, and I say this in a lot of videos, if you see me walking around somewhere, please stop me, say hello if you want a photograph, and just have a chat. It's so nice when I meet subscribers, both from YouTube and from Telegram. So please, if you see me, say hello. One thing I'll definitely say is there's a lot of color here, and of course beautiful weather helps a lot when you come to these sorts of events, and you know, lots of people come out to these things when they host them. It's really nice. And this gentleman right here. How fun is that? So they've got different characters walking around. We've got the beanbags out as well. So if you want to listen to the concerts. I wonder how many people were coming here today for a quiet afternoon and then turned up and realized that there's a whole event going on. So they've got different people up on stage doing singing and basically a mini concert. And this lady actually is representing Ecuador, and very proud to do that as well. Some ladies here getting some photos, and I think a lot of people are here from Latin American countries that live here in Moscow. That's nice. The representation of the different people that are here. You can definitely hear plenty of people speaking Spanish as you walk through. See if I can pass around. And just the amount of people for this concert. Wow. I didn't realize the popularity of something like this. See if we can catch a little bit of it.
Sufro lo indecible si tú entristeces. No quiero que la duda me haga llorar. Hemos jurado amarnos hasta la muerte. Y si los muertos aman, después de muertos amarnos más.
Very, very nice.
Si yo muero primero,
A very nice way to spend an afternoon here at Hermitage Garden in Moscow.
de mi cadáver dejar.
Lots of people just hanging out here on the grass and enjoying the concert. Lots of these beanbags. These are very normal in summertime. They put these out everywhere in all the parks, and you can literally just come and chill out. And again, I'm just curious how many people didn't know there was an event going on here, because there's definitely a few people that look a little bit like they didn't realize. Wow, so beautiful. Walking around, they actually have managed to find the second bust or statue, or is it a sculpture, I think? And this was actually given to the Moscow government by the Italian government back in 2000. So we saw the French display, and this is the Italian one here. There's a sign as well. Dante Alighieri. So if anybody's Italian, perhaps maybe you've heard of this guy. Sitting right here in the park in the center of Moscow. Off here in the corner there's a really big kids adventure playground as well. And I would imagine a lot of families come here purely for this park and let the kids just run around. They've actually got that special matting that's made out of car tires, the ones that they use on running tracks. So the kids can't hurt themselves or fall over. But super nice. And I've been to this park before. I've not really walked around all the different corners of it, so it's nice to discover other parts of it. And there's definitely things that I've not seen, even coming here so many times. There's more characters walking around. And this lady here with the dress and face painting. How nice is this? There's actually lots of them walking around, so everybody can get photographs. And they're very, very nice to stop and let the kids and ladies get the photos like this. As I keep walking around, I just want to give a bit of a shout out to BMW drivers. And if you've watched some of my older videos, and especially at the shopping centers, you know how bad parkers people are who drive BMWs. And there is so much street parking, particularly on the weekend, that you don't need to park your fancy BMW in the park and get so close to everything. You can park on the street and walk a few hundred meters. Is it just BMW drivers, or am I being too critical about it all? So at the stage where I first walked in, they've actually got dance classes going on, and they've got a couple up on stage doing all the dances. And then here at the back, they've got people joining in, and they're doing step-by-step dance classes. Fairly sure that they might be from Mexico originally, but they're actually doing it in Russian, which is nice. And then they've got the guy here who will help you out if you're really struggling with the steps. But how nice is this? A gala dance club. So maybe they've got different people represented today. And then the lady's literally learning it on the spot right here. This is fun. I love these masterclasses that they do at all these events because it just broadens everybody's horizons of the world and then brings everybody to come and join into things like this. They were probably just walking by. Maybe they weren't ready to get involved in something like this. And there they are. And all the ladies getting right into it. Nice. Let's see how they get along this time. Very nice. This is very cool. There really is so many corners to this garden. Now, I'll keep saying it's a garden, but to me it's a park. But then someone will say it's a very small park. So that's fair enough. I understand that. And it looks like they're doing maybe some kind of yoga over here. I'm not sure. But that's this park in a nutshell. They do all these kind of events and things that may not even be connected together, and it just brings people to the same park, especially where they try to, you know, do something in the center of Moscow like this. Oh, okay, so this is samba. So isn't samba from Brazil? I think. Someone correct me. Wow. Okay, so you're either going to get the amazing view or the not so amazing view, depending on which way you're looking at it. So this is literally in the park as I'm walking around. How cool is this? Now I can barely touch my toes, so there's no chance of me joining in. But super interesting. Now I'm going to be a little bit quiet here because I think there's a couple of things going on. Either it's some kind of meditation class or it's speed dating. I'm not too sure, one or the other. Yeah, this is definitely not part of the event that we've shown for most of the video. This is just another event that's held in this park. So somebody let me know in the comments, is it meditation or is it speed dating, Moscow style?
None of the above.
One or the other. Okay, so did you maybe put your answers in the comments of the video? So it turns out it's an eye contact event where people come to make eye contact with each other, and I'd be out straight away. But this park has got everything here today, so what more could I even ask for? As I make my way back around the garden, so there's definitely lots of people that have come here for this particular festival, and then there's lots of people that come here because it's a beautiful place to come for a walk. It's a great place to take photos. Like this gentleman wants to use his phone to make a video and people walk right in front. I have the same problem when I'm making videos as well. The lady with the fruit here is still hanging around, and this beautiful water fountain keeping me nice and cool. Oh yeah, what a place this is. The lines of people now for the food and drinks has got a lot longer from when I first got here, and obviously certain stands are more popular than others, and certain foods and drinks. Now, it's just very interesting, and I love coming to these events, and just where people embrace all the different cultures and food from different regions and the different types of drinks that they're even preparing as well. It's definitely a lot of people here. And of course, I've said it earlier in the video, I am in the center of Moscow. I mean, there is a lot of different events going on in summer right now. So a lot of people have got so many things to choose from what to do on days like today. So it's definitely fun to see so many people coming out to an event like this. I wonder how many people have traveled to these different countries at some point and want to basically remember the places they went to, or have some kind of a different food or drink from those regions. This mango stand seems very popular. And then over here, the line for the cars and the photo to take with it. It's gone down the street now. You can actually get in there literally and take a photo in the car. So it's obviously a popular thing to do. And you know, it's a great Instagram photo at the same time for everybody. How fun is that? They also have a smaller stage off to the side here with street music, and all the people here with their phones and cameras, which is very normal at any kind of music event. And the guy's doing the panpipes, which is really cool to see this. Wow. There's just something about this type of music. Wow. Lots of people gathered around for this type of music. Something just very different that you wouldn't hear in Russia. And right here in the center of the city. So as I make my way out of the Hermitage garden, I really hope you've enjoyed this walk around and to come to this festival It's actually held over 2 days. I thought it was only today, but after meeting quite a few people and a lot of subscribers and learning about this event, I tend to get a lot of secondhand information about things, and then I turn up and they're a bit bigger than what I realize. So I hope the video is a good representation of this garden and this park and this event. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know, perhaps you want to see more things like this on the channel. There's a lot of parks to visit in Russia, and even just here in Moscow alone. So I can certainly come and make more videos, especially while the weather is so nice. If you want to follow me on Telegram, there's a link right here to my Telegram channel. I posted lots of photos today while I've been walking around. If you want to watch an older video on the channel, click this link to something you haven't seen before, and keep traveling with Russell. Okay everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.